Welcome to Behind the Logics, the repository of knowledge. Today we are going to look into a very interesting topic, errors and exceptions. So within errors and exceptions, we are going to look into syntax errors, exceptions, exception handling. In exception handling, we are going to look about try, except, finally, and raise exception and file handling. So refer the given link to know about the built-in exceptions. So what is errors and exceptions? Let us see about errors. Errors are the problems in a program due to which the program will stop the execution. So one such error is syntax error. When the proper syntax of the language is not followed, then a syntax error is thrown. So let's see an example for syntax error. I'm gonna type while true and within print statement type hello and let's run the code. It will throw an error because there should be a colon after while true. Then only the while loop will start. So it tells that we made an error in the syntax. This is a syntax error.
Exceptions are raised when some internal events occur which change the normal flow of the program.
Even if a statement or expression is syntactically correct, it may cause an error upon execution. Errors detected during execution are called exceptions. Most exceptions are not handled by programs. Let's look into an example. Let me type a is equal to 5 divided by 0 and print a and let's run the code. Okay, we got a 0 division error. Usually when we try to divide a number by 0, we know the answer would be infinity, but the system shows it as a 0 division error, which means that a number can't be divided by 0. In these cases, we can handle exceptions by executing the rest of the program without stopping abruptly. We can catch these types of errors and retain the normal program flow. For this exception handling, we use three keywords: try, except, and finally. If we use try, except block is mandatory because we use try to catch the error. For catching the error, we need except block. Like when we use if, we will use else, right? Likewise, when we use try, we have to use except. Now let me type try a is equal to 5 divided by 0 and we use except 0 division error. As we use try, we have to use except, that is mandatory. Keep that in mind. So let me type print can't divide by 0. That is, when a 0 division error occurs, I need to get the output as can't divide by 0. That is what it means. Now I am writing another except. This is just for an example that we can write as many except as we want in a try. So for that I am showing another except. That's it. So except value error, print wrong value. Okay, so next I am writing finally code. Whether exception occurs or not, the code within finally block will be executed. So finally print code and finally. Let's run the code. Hence we got our output. Our program doesn't stop by showing an error. Instead, the program executed successfully. This is the use of exception handling. Next, we will be seeing about name error. Just I am dividing a number by a variable. That variable is not defined or declared before. So the output is like variable not defined and code and finally, because the finally code will be executed whether the exception occurs or not. I mentioned it before, right? Next, we will be seeing about raise exception. The raise statement allows the programmer to force a specified exception to occur. It is also called user-defined exceptions. When we want to code for the limitation of certain conditions, then we can raise the exception. If the condition which we defined didn't get satisfied, the user can specify an exception according to his needs. Okay, let's see an example for that. So let us use a try function. I set the balance as 900. Okay, so and I'm setting a condition if my balance is less than 1000. Okay, raise value error, that is, please add some money to your account. So when checking the condition, if my balance is less than 1000, it will show please add some money to your account. That's what it means. Else print you have minimum balance. Okay, so as we use try, we have to use except, right? So we can type value error as E in except. Okay, and print E, getting value error as E and print. That's what it means. So when I print E, the value which is given within the value error argument will be printed as output. If there is no argument passed within value error, the code in except will be printed. Except format is except plus error name.
Now, if we enter the balance value as 9000 and run the code, you will get the output as you have minimum balance. As the value is greater than 1000, it shows you have minimum balance.
Let's see about file handling. Until now, we have learnt reading and writing to the standard input and output. Now, let's see how to use actual data files. Python provides basic functions and methods necessary to manipulate files. We will see how to use those functions.
First, we have open function. Before reading or writing a file, we have to open it, which can be done with the help of open function.
Then we have close. Once the operation is completed, use close function to flush any unwritten information and close the file object, after which no more writing can be done. Some common modes of opening a file are write, read, append. So write means to write into a file in Python, we need to open it in write mode or append mode. Okay. While we use write function, it overwrites the file if any content is there, or it creates a new file and write if there is no file existed. And append is used to add the contents if it already has any. To read any file in Python, we must open the file in reading mode. We have other modes of opening a file. So RB means opens a file for reading in binary format. R plus means opens a file for both reading and writing. RB plus means it opens a file for both reading and writing in binary format. WB means opens a file for writing in binary format. W plus means it opens a file for both writing and reading. WB plus means opens a file for both writing and reading in binary format. AB means opens a file for appending in binary format. A plus means opens a file for both appending and reading. AB plus means opens a file for both appending and reading in binary format. Let's see an example for file handling. So here I am just showing that I have a read file .text. Okay, I have a file called readfile.txt. I have some content within that. Python is a popular programming language. Python can be used on a server to create web applications. Now I open a file in write mode. Okay, we only had one file in read mode as shown before. So now I try to open a file in write mode. Open write file dot text in write mode W and run the code. Now the file will be created, but there won't be any content inside. Now we will write inside the file which we created in write mode. So write Python is a great language /n means it enters the next line. So and yeah, it's great. So we will get 45 as output and there is no content inside the file. This is because we didn't close the file. Once we close the file, we will get the output. But why we got 45 here? Because f.write, it is used to get the number of characters as output. That is why we got 45. When we close the file, we got the content inside the file. As Python is a great language, and in second line we got yeah, it's great, because we have used /n to enter the next line. So keep in mind the changes we made will be reflected only if we close the file. Now we write the same content in write file inside with open with same syntax with object f. We can work the files only by creating objects, and that object here is f. Now let us type the same content as f. Write Python is a great language /n, yeah, it's great /n, and run the code. Let us check the new file created and try to see the content inside it. Yeah, we got the content. How? Here we didn't close the file, right? Then how we got our content? That is because here we have used with open block. Once we come out from the with open block, the file will be automatically closed. We don't need to specify explicitly to close the file. Now let me open the file in read mode. So within a read value, okay, so within read value I am going to use fread function so that it will read the contents of the file, and I am using print read value, so it will print the whole content of the file. Whatever the content is, the whole content will be displayed here. So next let me open the file in read mode again. With open read file.txt r as f. So here I am going to type read line, which means it reads the first line among two lines we typed inside. Okay, so print read line, so it will print only the first line among the two lines here. See, we got our output. So now we will give read text and f.read, and argument we will give value as 5. So it displays the first 5 characters from where our pointer is. We know that our pointer is at the end of the first line, right? So it will display the first 5 characters in the second line as pytho, because it already read the first line and the pointer is at the end of the first line. Next we will be seeing about seek and tell functions. So tell is nothing but it shows where the pointer is at present, and seek is used to make our pointer to be positioned in a particular place. Let's see an example for this now. We have opened a file in read mode and we read and print first 10 characters. So we got the output as Python space is. Now we try to find the position. I want to find where the pointer is. For that I have used f.tell function. First we have read 10 characters, so our pointer will be at the 10th position. So print current position So let's run the code, and we got our output as current position is 10. As we already printed 10 characters, our pointer will be at the 10th position. So now I am using fseek function. There will be two arguments. The first argument is to say how many character the pointer needs to be moved. Second argument is to say from where the pointer needs to be moved, like for example from the beginning or from the current position. So I have used 6, 0, which means the pointer has to be moved from the beginning, and 6 characters it needs to be moved. Next, in read text, I have mentioned to read 10 characters. So the pointer moves from the beginning to 6 characters, then it reads the next 10 characters.
Now again I use the seek function to make the pointer to be placed again in the beginning. So that I have mentioned 0, 0, which means from the beginning.
So as the pointer is in the beginning position, now if we read and print, the whole content will be printed. Let's run the code and see. Yeah, you can see now the whole content is printed now as the pointer is in the beginning position. That's all for this video. I hope this video will be very useful for you. If you find it to be useful, please do subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon and the notification button so that you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. I'll be seeing you in another interesting topic.